Oh, I clipped it just the right time because I forgot that the controller needs charging. Alright, what are we doing next? Anything down here I can look at? Weedle. Is this going to be another massive conversation? Like, I kind of love it, but it's kind of like I wish more of them would like give me quests, you know? This young man has a bruised cheek and a number of nasty looking daggers tucked into sheaths along his belt. Despite his rough appearance, he nods at you with weary good humour. Don't know you. What tunnel are you from? Then his eyes find your tattoo. Ah, never mind. Your kind doesn't live down here, do you? No offence. Yeah, what do you mean, my kind? You know, he says, shrugging, cast-offs, godlings, children of the changing god. Tattoo's a bit of a giveaway. Like I said, no offence. Shakes his head. Can't be easy though, can it? Living in that shadow. Who are you? Name's Weedle. I work for Fulsome, the man who runs things down here. He has us patrol the place, keep an ear out for problems. Spreads his hands, and that's why we're chatting. Some muttering, hooded Karka in robes has been following people home, so here I am glaring at everyone wearing anything longer than a skirt. Who are you looking for again? People in robes acting suspicious. He snorts. Well, I see it. Everyone in robes has got something to hide. Yeah, take care. What's here? Anything? Anything of use? My god, that message is just getting more dodgy. Map is really good at finding stuff. Is that you? Nah. Thought it was the kid talking in third person. From a distance, it looks as if this mutant is wearing a form-fitting suit of finely patterned lines in white, yellow, and pale blue. On closer examination, it becomes apparent that these are tattoos, and they cover nearly the entirety of his body, even his shaved head. His actual clothes are simple and worn, and his boots look as though they've seen hard use. He is studying the meaningless swirls and walls on his arms, and mouthing names that mean nothing to you. Solvi, Balint, Urgao, Tentries. When he looks up at you, you see that a strange device covers one of his eyes. A deep blue light shines in its center, and it seems to measure and evaluate you as he focuses on you. He smiles as you approach a broad... Whoa, 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 whoa! What's that thing on the right, under my bloody picture, that's at 0? I don't recall using absolutely everything up, but maybe I did in that battle. When he looks up at you, you see that a strange device covers one of his eyes. Ah, oh, he smiles as you approach, broad being. He says he considers you a friend already. I'm Mappa, he says, extending his hand. I've been everywhere around here. I found my way into places long sealed and best forgotten. Met all sorts of people. He frowns. Can't say I cared much for some of them. It's true. His voice is fast, insistent, and incisive. Still, I try. The communities of our world are islands of light. Sometimes they wink out and sometimes they flare up. I want to link them together. I want to be a bridge. You say you want to be a bridge. How do you even do that? I'll ask that first. He shrugs, a faint smile on his lips. I travel, I see places, I map them out on my skin and maybe inside me, I don't know. I mean, the lines change when I look, and they've got to be stored someplace, right? He scratches his bald head. The lines flow under his fingers. I just need to collect places. I need to know that I've done something. Making maps is all I know. It's all I want to know. Yeah, what's with the tattoos? These are not tattoos, they're maps. He exposes a shiny grin. Maps of places I've been or heard of. He covers the artificial eye with his hand and says, if I look at my skin like this, it's meaningless. Then he uncovers it and says, but look at it like this. Suddenly I see the map. Springing up off my skin, I focus on it, it all becomes clear, or comes clear. Buildings, people, smells, even a route to get there. It's worthless to anyone else, of course, without me to interpret the map. It's a combination of my mutation and the lens. Finding the eyepiece was the best part of being born like this. He sighs contentedly. It made me feel like my life made sense at last, and that my friend is far more luck than anyone deserves. Where have you been? Everywhere, from the sounds of it. He laughs. It's probably easy to ask where I haven't been. All over the Sagas Protectorate, the oasis of Mirage Jolios, Valley of Dead Heroes, Holm Village, the ruins of Archipelagia, and all around the Black Cube, Tower of Birds, where Thirdlos fell, even up past the Clock of Kala to Vralk. Are these places that I'm actually going to go to? As he speaks, the lines of his body shift and move, coming into prominence with the words. Every place is a treat, an experience. Did you know most people never go more than 50 kilometers from the village of their birth, if that? I've been tremendously lucky, my friend. He smiles down at his maps. And he looks back at you and says more quietly, if you plan to travel, I'd avoid the grasslands though. The birds will take your meat for their meals and your bones for their nests. Alright, farewell. That was a great chat. I see things, you know, I have special eyes. Right. You sent here to see the hooded strangers, the nameless servants of the council. Yep, keep going. Keep going. I think they're levies. They have to be. Levies gone wrong. I have a feeling that's about... I appeared in one of those hoods once, saw the twisted flesh, the gaping toothless mouths. Well, that's freaky. Keep going. What else you got? They'll take me one day. They know where I am. Well, she is paranoid. Who's this? You know too, don't you? Smell the corruption. Yes, the dragon dream is down here too. Keep it going. What else you got? I don't have all day. Won't rest until Sagus is drowning in blood. Keep it going. They want us doubting each other and starting fights. They smirk behind their sleeves when we die. I've heard things, you know, things I shouldn't. I had to run, had to leave everything behind. Right. Alright. Have I spoken to this clown? Oi, I was talking to you. I don't eat often, but I don't beg neither. Oh, well that's very good. Found a bone with a ring around it yesterday, tangled in hair, gonna sell it. Yeah, well, offer it to me. Maybe I'll buy it. Found a hand clock once that counted backwards when I breathed on it. You're a fucking weird one, mate. Alright. I don't think I've spoken to this person, have I? Pair of gaunts as the table look as though they intend to provide real-time analysis, physical monitoring of any human arm placed inside. Okay, is this, how do I talk to this guy to purchase them? Collection of wafer thin slides containing cross-section cuts of living tissue, some of the flesh still squirms. He didn't want to talk to me, did he? Whatever. Hey, how do I talk to... Can I not talk to this guy? Allegan! Hello!
Who told you? I want nothing to do with this Carradine. But you bring her to my door. Ditch her someplace, and then maybe we can talk.
Oh, come on. Can't you guys make up? The old lover's tiff. Come on, Jonathan. Hello. I know you. You're dead. Yeah. Right. Man, you people are fucked up down here. Who's this? Keep your hands clear of the workers. They've got a job to do. What's going on here? Tiny dwellings carved in the rock wall, furnished with reeking bedrolls and bug-infested rags. Ew. You got anything to say, punk? Not going to be quite day down here, I can tell. Oh, is there fucking... Am I going to get into a fight? Fucking, it's about time I get into a fight. Been so much talking, I want a bit more action. So I talked to the old monk. I don't think he had anything interesting to say, did he? Yeah, no. I'm out of here. Monty boy. Got work that needs doing, maybe your door's creak or you want someone dead. Oh, Jesus. Settle down, mate. Come on, pauper. What do you got to say? You just humming? Whatever. Who's this? Michela? Why does that name sound familiar? Has someone told me about you? Can In a store filled with all manner of dusty parts, connectors and strange devices, a woman tinkers with a half-assembled power source, peering at it through spectacles that have several adjustable lenses. Her long white... Oh, I just noticed that messed up scrambled message at the top is gone, thank God. I think it was old mate Allergern who got rid of that. Her long white hair is dishevelled and the skin of her thin frame is marked with small scars and burns. She looks up curiously as you approach. Welcome to Michella's Mechanicals. Oh, mechanicals, eh? You might be able to help me. I've got a bunch of broken stuff and a few things that work. You want any of it? Let me know. As if I'm not going to ask her about fixing my machine. She shrugs, trained mostly as an old priest, name's Allergern, who brings me things now and then. Doesn't like to tell me where he finds them, so I don't ask. I get stuff from Little Mant too, though sometimes his stuff's too hot to touch. Even a few things from the sticker, if you can believe it. You trade with the Stitcher? Why is that surprising to me? I don't know who the fuck the Stitcher is. Now and then they dig up all kinds of things in those tunnels of theirs. Picky about what they trade for though. I only want things that'll hold a lightning charge, flash packs, generators, that kind of thing. Her brow furrows, which is weird now that I think of it, because their eggs hold a charge. Like little batteries they are. I've even converted a few of them to power things though. Don't tell the Stitcher that. Be like using a baby for firewood in their eyes. I don't know how that gives me experience. Tell me again where you get your stock. Well, there were other questions that I had to ask, wasn't there? Like, was there not other... I wanted to ask her more questions. Yeah, whatever. Not buying anything. I'm fucking too poor. I'll talk to you later, Michella. What do we got here? Hundreds of leathery wings flutter against each other like they're trying to escape. They grow haphazardly, one sprouting from the next. Swollen mass of wet, glistening muscle quivers in the vat. Mjork's no meatmonger is an artist. The vat is filled with wriggling reptilian tails, knotted and tangled together. Back to the paranoid couple. Alright. A short, solid man stands behind a smoking grill, turning pieces of meat with a pair of grimy tongs. Sweat is pouring down his grizzled face, yet he's covered head to toe in grease-spattered clothes. His sleeves are tight at the wrist and his collar pinches his neck. Nearby are 3 large vats that are filled with living meat, great amorphous masses of it, with appendages growing from them like the limbs of animals drowning in a meat swamp. The first vat is filled with thick, throbbing muscles, red and raw. The second is a flapping monstrosity of leathery wings, and the third sprouts hundreds of lark tails, all wiggling obscenely. The cook looks up from his work and gives you a sweaty smile. Hey ho, I'm Miuk the... Mork? Get out of here. You're asking for trouble. Get out of here.
The small one, baby.
Yes, well, get out of here. Don't be bringing snake skin into my room. Oi. Oh, these bloody very good friends of mine are asking for trouble. So, he's Meek. I'm going to call him Meek. Meek the meat monger. What'll you have? What kind of meat do you sell? Yeah, why are you all bundled up like that? On account of the toes, nobody wants to see a man with toes growing all over his body, especially if he's cooking their food. Not even people in the underbelly got strong enough stomachs for that. Yeah, what? We've got our problems. I've got it better than most here. Ain't my fault anyway. Well, I guess a little bit my fault. Bangs the grills with his tongue, a sizzly grease fly. 3 kinds, friend, anine, dribble and lark. Right in those vats actually. Want some? I've never seen meat grown in a vat before. How does it work? I don't really want to buy any meat, so... How, he shrugs, couldn't tell you. Found a little doodad back when I was a butcher and I'll fiddle with it all day long, kind of like I do now with my tongs. He waves the tongs around to show you what he means. So one day I was fiddling with this thing while cutting up a carcass and it kept growing back its missing parts. Cut the tail off and there it was again a moment later. Crazy right, but it gave me an idea. I could open a little grill with no overhead and it worked. Been cooking the same 3 hunks of flesh for years now, he beams. Yes, couldn't you use your doo-doo? Funny you should ask. Not long after I found it, I cut myself pretty good. Thought I'd try using my doodad to close... Did I call it doo-doo? my doodad to close up the wound. He grimaces while it worked. Then I started growing toes all over my body. Didn't care for that at all, so I never did it again. Still trying to get rid of the toes. Alright, I'm out.
Yes.
Hell yes, I'll take it all. Who's just leaving their money lying around? Find a jump pile of large rocks at the end of this roughly hewn tunnel. The motionless limbs of a stitches protrude from the mound. The rents in its carapace are painted with dried ichor. Hell yeah. Don't like my chances. Whatever. You try to dislodge one large rock, then another, pulling and pushing until the blood roars in your head, but they don't budge. Fucking oath, I'm not retrying. Piss off. Like I give a shit. Now, is this the same one headless man? He's getting around. Was a skull-like once, that's all behind me. Meek's Dremel wings changed my life. So, I'd love to know how I entered the area without pressing X. That was some seriously dodgy shit. I've got a feeling this is going to be a fight. Let's do it. Threatening movements near Pelii. Okay. This violet-skinned visitant paces back and forth before the cavern's opening. Wears fine clothes that serve to accentuate the tall, thin crest on its head. Symbol has been painted on the crest, mirroring the insignia marked on its chest. Its clothes are finely tailored and well made. The name of the creature's race crawls to your mind. It's Vigellan. This one has temporarily chosen to be female. Her bulbous eyes flash quickly around her surroundings before focusing directly on you. Your pardon, her voice is high and fluting. This place isn't safe. Do you want something of me? Yeah, well, why isn't it safe? Not unless you trust the discretion of the Stitcher, those insectoid monsters that are prowling about. Most people are afraid of them. I was wondering what you're doing here. I am conducting a diplomatic negotiation on behalf of the city. Unfortunately, I am not dealing with a reasonable species. Her crest flutters irritably. I've made no progress at all. Days wasted in this miserable tunnel. I have nothing to show my superiors. Maybe I can help you negotiate. You carry yourself with poise and confidence. I've learned to be a judge of such things. She puffs up her crest. Perhaps you would be a skilled negotiator, but that isn't what I need. The circumstances call for a new tactic. She nods. If you truly think you can help, let's put you to the test. Well, can I come back later? She waves off the levies who flank her. Her gestures are short and choppy, sharp and irritated. It's these damnable Stitcher, he says. I speak to them, I offer, cajole, negotiate and threaten. Yet they persist in their digging, and every day another house on the cliffs above slips into the sea. If their digging does not cease, the city itself may crumble. So here is my request. Find a way into their deepest tunnels, remove their precious eggs and return them to me. These hostages to their future shall ensure the future of the city above her. She spreads her hands. I distrust your discretion. Between the two of us, she whispers, the amount of energy a single Stitchu's egg generates is remarkably high. Profit hides within each. Bring me all of their eggs and I will split the proceeds with you. If she pauses, if you can negotiate a lasting settlement that does not require such drastic measures, you may also pursue that method, but I have been trying for days with no success. I do think I can help. Good, we need to stop the Stitcher before they bring down the entire substructure of the city. She pauses and lowers her voice. If you manage to infiltrate their lair, be sure to acquire all their eggs. I suspect they will have multiple clusters, and we will need them all if we want to negotiate from a position of strength. What is this cipher sickness? Symptoms increasing fettle. What the hell are you even trying to say? She hands you a synth ball with a blinking device inside. Once you're in the lair, activate this. It will show you all the tunnels, the egg clusters, and the Stitcher themselves. Better to know what you face before you charge ahead. Yeah, I do have some more questions. She sighs. Very well be aware that time spent means more time for the Stitcher to undermine the city. Yeah, tell me about yourself. I am Pellier, an agent of the slave families. They have entrusted me to deal with the Stitcher. We are losing far too many homes and citizens because of their digging. I mean to execute those orders faithfully with your help. I hope you seem trustworthy. Yeah, what can you tell me about the Stitcher? Filthy animals, scatter insects. Who can say if they're even sentient? First and foremost, they dig, and they care nothing for the homes they destabilize or the lives that are lost when our buildings collapse. They do not speak the truth reliably, so we cannot know if they understand the damage they cause. She frowns, though I suspect that they do. If I knew, I'd send them back there in a trice. Some years ago, perhaps decades, they simply appeared here, and they have been causing problems ever since between us. Because I feel I can trust you, my employees in the slave families suspect the Stitcher eggs were smuggled in from the bloom. Perhaps they were a curiosity, or perhaps they were intended for a darker purpose, to undermine the city. What are the Stitcher doing here? I can imagine they dig incessantly. They insist upon digging tunnels beneath the city, destabilizing the crag upon which Sager's Cliffs is built. Countless buildings have collapsed or fallen into the sea, more so than is ordinary, based on the shoddy construction so many of our residents employ. The problem has struck Cliff's Edge especially. Many loyal citizens have perished. Yes, how do you communicate? Her crest flutters as she hisses in irritation. I have not the faintest idea. I do not even know if they fully understand the truth. Perhaps the one that points at itself in chitters can help. I call it Chikekt. It can mutter a handful of words and perform some sign language. I have tried to negotiate it with it, but I've gotten nowhere. Yes, what else did I want to know? Slave families, who are they? She scoffs and then points to the sigil marked upon her breast. The slave families are the descendants of those brave souls who rose against the injustice of the previous rulers of Sager's Cliffs. Led by Chilla the Great, they cast down the tyrants and tore their families asunder. The faithful who stood with Chilla saw their service rewarded with stewardship of the city. Their descendants carry on with this grand tradition. She bows. They have made me their agent. Yeah, well, what do you reckon about reaching the old Stitcher lair? If I knew, I'd go there myself. The Stitcher are quick to dispatch intruders, and I doubt they would take humans or Vargellans there of their own accord. Perhaps a construct of some sort or a digging machine, but I know little of fabrication or manufacturing, so I'll leave that for you to explore. Some sort of digging construct. So, am I going to get into a fight with these things, is what I want to know. I'm a little bit nervous. Let's see what Levy's got to say. If you get into trouble here, we are not permitted to help you. Alright. If I'm going to get into trouble, getting into a fight, I feel like I'm better off doing it sooner rather than later. This massive creature looms over you. A scent like lightning in an underground cavern washes over you, and it reminds you of nothing so much as curiosity. It chitters and rumbles, waving its large claws to an expressive dance. Something about these smells, sounds and gestures seems familiar. It's going to be another test, which I'm going to fail because it's only going to be like fucking 20% or some bullshit. A niggling itch in the back of your mind. At least you remember the taxonomy now. This is a Stitchus, a huge burrowing insectoid. It points to itself and says Chikekt. It follows with another stream of high-pitched noise. May as well get straight to the point. Wave silence around the air fills with the scent of a slow-growing fungus. You think it says why. More incomprehensible chittering follows, and then it speaks slowly and carefully. Not learn our speech, not work us. No, not now, we dig. What do you think of the old Pellier? Discombobulated for a moment. Who? Then it thinks a little more. Then it sprays out a blast of pheromones, and you smell the sharp tang of acid and weakened stone. It smells like distrust. Jesus. Yes, can you tell me about the Stitcher? Scrabbles briefly at the wall. A bit of lightning flares about the crown of antenna on its head. Its shoulders shrug, and you smell dust. I'm guessing you can't tell me about this place. Looks at you intently, then its spatula fingers begin a slow and careful dance. The sounds of Makes a slow shitters that rise and fall in pitch, coming by the smell of ozone. Good rock, full of electricity. You almost have the sense of the language, the structure, the feel, the sound and scent. Each in your mind intensifies. You can feel the memory of the statue's language waiting to reveal itself. Well, sure. 5%. Imagine if I get it. Nah. You focus deep within your mind, blocking out external distraction, and will the memories to rise. There must be a reason this tongue sounds familiar to you. There must! But try as you might, you can only conjure the image of a small box flickering impatiently in front of you. No other thoughts attach themselves. At last, you relinquish the attempt. It's fruitless. Tidal Surge requires trained tidal affinity skill. Unearth the buried knowledge of the Stitcher language in your mind. I'm just gonna fucking not bother with that one. Yeah, can you take me somewhere? Over the scent of the warm... Oh my god, you want my money? It points to various items in your belt in person, and you think it's telling you that the Stitcher buy items from a human. I've got a feeling if I get it to take me where the eggs are, and I plant that device, I am going to get into a battle. So I think I might just... have a little fucking explore.
Yes. Now.
Yeah. What? In metal can be made of glass, plastic, no name, so blah 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 blah. Others probably meant to stand with writing and images. I shall take all. Blocked by debris, but it's loose enough that a burrowing creature could easily push its way through. You got anything to say, juvenile Stitches? What else can I get? How many shins is it going to want? It's probably going to want so many that I don't have enough.
All right.
But maybe now I might have enough. So, the 0 next to my picture, why has that got an arrow pointing down? I don't like that. Alright, fuck it, let's just see if he'll take me to the eggs. Begins panning on the scent of tunnel grubs and sharp metal fills the air. As usual, Chim makes sense. He's managed to choke out a few words of truth. What do you want? Alright, so does that mean I can't do it? Yeah, okay. Indicator to understand you and pull some shins from a hidden crack in its exoskeleton. It points to the shins and then points to you. Set very much out of baked bread emanates from it, and you understand that you must pay for the privilege. But how much do I need to pay? The scent that wafts from the statues is disgusting, like organic matter that has been baked, digested, and defecated a second time. Its hands clench hard and it grates. No. Like, I thought... if it tells me how much, I may consider paying for it. Or maybe it's just going to get into a fight if I keep hassling it. The air grows redolent foulness. Chikek does not move. Come on. Let's fight then. Like, it says he wants me to pay, and then it doesn't even give me the option to pay. So I'm guessing I need to be able to talk to it first to get this trained tidal affinity skill to even be able to talk about, to even begin discussions of payment. So fucking, I don't know what that's about, so I'm just gonna have to leave and deal with that later. Even though, according to, what is it, Pelii, the city is gonna fucking collapse any second now. Whatevs. Alright, so is that everyone I've spoken to? I think it is. Leave area? I'm not ready to do that just yet. I don't think I've been up here. Oh, I most definitely have not been up here. going to find you, you know. Alright, this would be good. Who's she? I had a hat once. Where is that hat? Oh, he's batshit crazy, isn't he? Who's this? Pauper? So that's old mate. I think he was having a whinge at me. Yeah, whatever. Report to the lower. What's going on? Is that thing going to try and fight me? Fucking yeah, this place is massive.
I'm going.
Crippled floor, segments of this bisected construct's legs lie scattered around it. Someone has painstakingly altered these pieces, giving them small limbs and tiny metallic heads. Nonetheless, they are moving. The large construct's turquoise eyes flicker out of sync with each other as they turn towards you. I do not understand, it says, the voice emerging from the grill. Around its eyes is soft as though you are hearing it from far away. Don't they want to live? The viaducts are open, the commands are received, and yet its eye lights flutter. Every time I give my children life, they die. These tiny things are your children? Not anymore, it says. Now they are inanimate and lifeless. Their adaptive personalities have been lost. I do not understand why they are dying. I've given the subject of procreation a great deal of thought over the last century, and there are no errors in my calculations. My assistant Tarnish built my children's bodies to my precise specifications. Their intelligence reservoirs are shielded against permanent loss. Its eyes look away from yours as if it is embarrassed, and I want them to live. That should be enough. I wish I could help you in some way. Give me a quest. It may be that you can, it says, perform some new calculations and a new direction has presented itself. My children need more energy to live, but my construction prevents me from transfers above a certain threshold, and for good reason. Its pupils rotate, contracting. Energy transfers above a certain percentage would lead to a chain of ruptures in my intelligence rings. I would die. Its voice mesh clicks. Help me force myself to make this transfer, for I cannot do it myself. Click, help me give my life to my children. What it asks sounds difficult, she murmurs, tapping her chin. Difficult but not impossible. The Order of Truth may be able to help us accomplish what I want. So of course she's going to say that. Will you help me? The foreman says. The words are almost buried beneath the crackling surge of static. I don't want to help you kill yourself. No. If he wants to kill himself to bring his children to life, or at least I think that's what he was banging on about, I'll help him do that. Speak to Tarnish, my assistant. He may be able to help you understand how I function if he is feeling well enough. You seem very dispassionate about your failures to create children. Can you tell me about how you and the other foreman came to be like this? Can I examine you for a start? Yes, it says, Tarnish, open my preservation hatches and viaduct shield, please. The elderly workman shuffles over and does as he's asked. Oh my, Calestige says beside you, I don't claim to understand everything I'm seeing here, but you'll need an extra set of hands if you're planning to do what the poor creature wants. She smiles. I have hands to spare, of course. You've never seen technology like this. Wires pass through glass tubes threaded with pale light and star-speckled darkness. You glance over at Tarnish. He's looking away, arms crossed as though unwilling to watch a stranger tinker with his master. The tubes themselves have an oddly organic configuration that curve through several mysterious brushed cases. Right. I will not, the foreman says calmly. It's not an era I wish to revisit. Speak with the master foreman instead. Why do you want children? Need, the contract says, not want. Its pupils study this distance stealing. When I was born, I began working in seconds. I did this until I created shutdown of bodies. In the millennia since I have focused on designing the infrastructure beneath the other foreman's work and instructing workers on how to execute on these designs. Its pupils fall back to you. Eventually I realized I was unhappy. From time to time my workers brought their children to the manufactory, holding their small hands, explaining the mysteries of this place to them. Its pupils flicker off. It began as a thought. What would I teach my own children? To be curious, to explore, to ask foolish questions, to see the world above that we three have never seen. The foreman's pupils reappear, and when I thought these things, I saw the shape of my children, outlined by daylight. They already existed. Why don't you want to talk about your past? Because the master foreman revels in the past and will be happy to share with you. I do not and would not. Well, that is fair enough. Let's get out of here. What's Tarnish got to say? The elderly man stares vacantly at a distant wall, muttering under his breath. His hands flex on the air, twisting and tweaking as if he is repairing a machine only he can see. He jumps when you draw in a breath to speak. Yes, what, he says. His eyes rove past you, halt and then return to focus on your face with some effort. Ain't you a quiet one, he says cheerfully. The underforeman makes more noise than you. We should hang chimes from your ears to keep you surprising people. What do you need? What is a foreman? Well, they are, he says, flapping his hand about the cavernous foundry. The constructs, they're frozen in their tracks, but they run this place together. And what do you do? I take care of my master, he says simply. The underforeman, there used to be more of us when he was making things, but when he lost interest, the master foreman, he jerks a yellow thumb at the construct at the center of the chamber. Hired them all, offered them all. Tarnish spits on the ground, happened a while back, but I don't forget a slight. Oh, God. How can I give the foreman's life to its children? Tarnish says, his eyes flutter. Not sure, I've been tinkering with this one for 50 years and I still only half understand him. Studies the air, rubbing his lips together. You might try examining him on your own, I did that, or you could try talking to the Order of the Truth. They know more about old machines than I ever will. How do you feel about your master's goal? It's a fine thing to want children, he says, blinking rapidly. I wish I'd had them myself. Too late now, of course. No ladies knocking down my door. He cackles, of course, when people have children. It doesn't come at the cost of their lives most of the time, and that life doesn't belong to a creature that's older than oceans. It's a shame and a waste, but he wants what he wants. He always has. Doesn't mean I won't miss him. Perception. The assistant's smile is fond and brief. It doesn't reach his eyes. Why do you keep calling him Master He? I've worked for him a long time. Guess I stopped seeing him as a thing and more like a him. Tiny shrugs. All of us have a little ways, even him. And how long have you worked with him? Couldn't say, says, his brow furrows. On my first day I'd already met my wife, but she was still married to what's his name with the fishhook tattoo, and I hadn't lost a finger and grown it back yet, so he peers at the ceiling, mouth working. 70 years, give or take, I should retire, but there'd be no one left to mind him if I left. Alright. Good, I'm out of here. Who's this? Just a no-name fuckface. What's going on here?
Yes.
Set of floating rungs rise from the floor, leading up to a more conventional ladder built on the side of the ancient ship. The ladder disappears in the darkness above. You know what? It's been an hour and a half since I've saved. I'm going to come back to that one. Fire's running hot, just as the master likes them. Well, how good is that? Now, who's this guy up here? Anything to say? Tim Smith reports to the Lowell Manufactory. You're looking for work here. Hope you like heat, loud noise, and a pissing metal boss. Can I run up here? Doesn't look like it. And I'll talk to that one soon. Examine. What do we got? I can't see up. How do I see higher than that? This ancient ship is embedded in the rock and only its low portion is visible here. The workers are using its roaring engines as a smelting furnace. How good is that? Master Artisan, at first glance, this ancient unmoving construct seems nearly identical to the others in the manufactory. It is only when you move close into the hazy aura of forge light that you see the intricate, no chaotic walls of engravings marking every millimeter of its armoured frame, and the worker standing behind it is adding even more. Morning, the construct says. It is morning, isn't it? I never pay attention to the time. There's not much use for it down here. Firelight twinkles off the construct's blank eyes. I'm Artisan. What can I do for you? Can you tell me about your past? To be honest, I don't like thinking about it. All of us went slightly insane during our centuries down here before the humans came, but the other foreman and I don't dwell on things like Master Foreman does. An ember drifts down from the high ceiling between you. If you want the whole story in excruciating detail, Master Foreman's the one to ask. Oh my god. That's going to be a lot of talking. Yeah, why do you have workers decorating your armor? Because I want to be the most beautiful construct in Saga's Cliffs. The construct declares. The worker behind it chuckles, joking and says, my eyes, well not eyes, but you know, they failed a long time ago. But my other senses are good, very good. So when my workers want to show me a design, they scratch it out on my plate. I feel it and give them feedback, not that some of them need it. What else do we have? It's a long time to be blind. Why can't anyone repair you? You're both artists and canvas. Sounds like a good trade for sight. The easiest answer to the question is we don't have the part, Tyson says and lowers his voice, but the truth is that I'm afraid nothing is going to make me blinder, but it falls silent the forge hisses and pops nearby. Those first decades in the darkness were the hardest, and I started seeing patterns in them. Simple at first, and with colours, depth and shade. Grand cyclical designs and size happily. I still see them and I wouldn't trade them for sight. To be perfectly honest, these artists don't need me anymore. They've done wondrous work in the city above, but they like asking my opinion. The construct barks a laugh and I like giving it. Yeah. Absolutely. Hold on a second, let me get a sense of what might appeal to your taste. Nested senses whirring alive on its shoulders and beams of light fan over you in the space of a heartbeat. Not so interested in the arts, I see lager. Get our visitor the content of store box 39. A few minutes later, a stalker hurries out and places a heavy object in your hands. No charge, artisan says. Call it a gift. Globe of Zrul. Well, thank you. Synth globe clearly depicts an unknown world. The more you look at it, the more you details you discover, as if the globe's someone enhances and concentrates your vision as you examine it. Can't believe he just handed that over for... Well, I guess I'm talking to him. And they do like to be fucking talked to from the sounds of it. Alright, what's your opinion on your fellow foreman? Well, I don't like to speak poorly of my family. The construct breaks off when the work upon it snickers. It's true, they're difficult in their own ways, of course. We argue, and here we means Master Foreman and me, but that's to be expected. We've known one another for millennia, understand. We went through decades of angry silence until, well, we learned to accept each other as we are. It chuckles. Master Foreman has beliefs, exhausting ones, that it can't help inflicting on others. And our broken friend wants to die, I think. Puts it a different way, but it does. And though we bicker, I care for them. How couldn't I after thousands and thousands of years? Alright, that'll do. No, I will go get some sunlight after all that. Have I talked to this one? What do you got to say? Alright, fair enough. Whatever. I don't think I've spoken to this guy. Alright, fuck all this talking. I need to go grab a drink of water. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Together, what do you do? Alright, back to it. Let's talk to this Master Foreman. I've got a feeling this is going to be long and painful. If you haven't gathered by now, when I play a video game, I do everything that can be done. Alright, the construct looms over you, frozen in mid-step. Its heavy limbs and barrel body have been recently polished by careful hands. But the joints themselves are completely fused. This creature hasn't moved in a long time. It studies you with eyes made of swirling orange fire. Alright, let's have a quick little chug. Synth Smith? I'm not Synth Smith. I'm just gonna not talk for a little bit and just read while I have a quick chug. Alright, I'm back. We don't know what admits. The most we know of them is their names in the code and the vessel we were building for them. Hell, how's the time? Gotta make sure I don't miss my clip. Most we know of them is their names in the code and the vessels we were building for them that they never claimed. Our creation came at their order, but we have never known their faces, only their song. While the others dithered and wailed, I bent my mind to the future. It continues. I analysed the work we had done for the cartographers. To my shame, I found flaws in the processes. I removed them. Its eyes burned brighter. For the next cluster of centuries, I studied the vast catalogue of known technology and Numenera in my mind and strung them together, creating new inventions for the day when the cartographers returned and reactivated us. But that day never came. Yeah, so the humans eventually did. These gods of yours shut you down, plain and simple. They just forgot to flip the last switch. That's a bit brutal. Yes, and though you were flawed and fragile, you made perfect tools, just as we had once been. Your people found us, and the era of my greatest work began. They asked us to help them raise the city until it cast all others in shadow to cobble their artifacts and their trinkets into grand devices that would power every corner and make them safe from their enemies. And I told them, it coughs as if holding back tears, I told them I had a plan. You see the fruit of our mighty effort all around you. What business do I have for him? You need work done. If it can be built, fixed or solved, you've come to the right place. The contract says, I'm trying to reach the lair of the Stitcher. Can you build me a digging? I need advice on repairing a crystalline device in the reef. Oh, which one's more important? I think probably that one. Consultation, eh? Tell you what, bring me a piece of the device to examine and I'll count the examination as payment for advice rendered. Bring me a piece of the device to examine and I'll count the examination as payment for advice rendered. What the... Am I going retarded? I know, that's what I'm like, you don't want payment? What? You're going to help me for free? The question needs to be asked. A short consultation isn't worth the cost of an invoice. Bring the shard or don't. I'm busy here. Can't you send one of your workers down to the reef? Nah, that's a bit rude. It says scanning the shard. Microfissures saturated with organic fluid. This device of yours is alive. Replacement crystals need to be grown, not made. The construct eye light swivels from you, leaving you and the shard in the dark. Can't help you more than that. Growing crystals isn't my business, but those ruin diggers in the Order of Truth might be able to tell you more. Sounds like I only need the Order of Truth, and the bloody cult of the changing god sounds like they're just fucking useless. But those ruin diggers in the Order of Truth might be able to tell you more. You'll find them in Government Square, up the ladder to my left. Good luck. Ah, I thought that ladder was going to be fucking going up to potential danger. Yeah, you know, that's all. That'll do. Farewell. Alright, well, I'm pretty satisfied that I've spoken to everyone and done everything. Seems how I wasn't even supposed to be in here to begin with. Okay. So I see now that you will leave the area. I thought you actually had to press X to leave the area, but I see now that running through, yeah. What's here? Skills of the following levels: novice, trained, specialized, each conferring greater benefits. Skills can also be reduced to inability level, which inflicts penalties when using them. Jeez. How's the time going? I think I clipped it at about 55 minutes, so maybe like another 8 minutes. Yeah, nah, like I'm really liking this game, and it is very hard to get me to like new games for me. Obviously this game's like, I think 7 years old now. Everyone was banging on about The Witcher 3. I tried The Witcher 3, It didn't take long for me to go, nah, fuck this game. I don't want to go in again, but I want to see what it says from the top. Which it looks like you might not be able to. That's a bit bizarre, isn't it? Can I... yeah, whatever. Alright, so what's this? Better than the cliff wall is a massive structure that clearly predates the buildings that surround it. Whatever.
Yes.
Structure embedded in the ground, clearly not made by the same people who built Circus Manor. It looks like the device extends deeper into the ground, below the road, where the ruins are spread across the device's surface. Well, what if I don't want to leave the device alone? Is that the one that still works? Oh, it is one of the Death Cheater's vessels. I didn't... is this starting a fight? Ah, can it be? What fortune, what joy. Casimir will want to see you, vessel, and Mimion too. Fuck off. I'll come see you clowns later. Oh, is that them there? No. I'll deal with that shit later. Have I spoken to you, buddy? We're gonna totally... yeah, nah, fuck off. Size of the human figure that's repeated throughout the camp is highly unusual. Its use as a symbol suggests the elevation of humanity, perhaps a specific person. I've spoken to these people. Oh yeah, they were a bunch of fucking weirdos. What do you got, Crier? Rogue statue spotted in Cliff's Edge. Lord Vunkgen promises to track the beast down. Hey, how good is that? Levy, what do you got? Good day to you, visitor. Well, good day to you too. Is that all you're gonna say? Who's this person? Have I spoken to you? Oh, is that the person about my tattoo? I think it is. That's the performing woman. What was she? A bloody... yeah, performer. Whatever. You got anything new to say? Continue the digging. Cliff's Edge lives in fear that more homes will collapse. Oh, that's devastating. Yeah, what? Well, I don't know. Like, I'd like to have some questions for you, but apparently the game doesn't want me to. Feels like tugging the corner of your mind when gazing upon this symbol. Whatever.
Yes.
Ancient divide been in the ground, weathered ruins are etched into its surface. Alright, so I'll talk to these bloody cult people last, I think. Any trapped within the discs inset at the top of the pillars that line this wall appears to pulse slightly differently as people walk in front of them. Alright, fucking, is that supposed to fucking do anything for me? Alright, Philethus. Creature floats before you, hidden inside... oh, hang on, here's the time. Yeah, I'll finish this conversation and then clip it. Creature floats before you, hidden inside the bulk of its armor, cloth, robes, unmoving and unmoved by your presence. Exactly who or what the thing is, man or machine, mutant or monster, is impossible to discern. Its glass face reveals nothing but your reflection. Its mechanical voice reveals nothing at all. You recall this creature is known as Philethus, but you don't know anything else about them. Exquisite, the Philethus grates in greeting, perhaps, or perhaps lost in its own inscrutable thoughts. May as well say thank you for the compliment. The glass does not create, though it bends. For a moment that stretches uncomfortably, you feel the cold scrutiny of Philethus upon you. At last it speaks again. As the nature of flags to fade. Philethus is an implacable glass gaze, bores through your skin and sees more than others, and it seems to be seeking something from you. Do you know anything about the sorrow, about the resonance chamber built by the changing god? Tell me about yourself. Yeah, I'm just gonna fucking get straight to it. Silence lingers long until the last Philethus speaks. I know it shall be three. I know the first cannot be trusted. I know one changes as you change. I know they seek an undoing. Its glass face storms, but the Philethus says no more. What do you want from me? Ponder silently until the last is asked. When you face Koro, why did you not step first with your left foot? Why did you not step first with your left foot? Fucking... I don't recall fucking... I'll just say it placed me in a better position. Felicitas accepts your answer in silence, and after a long pause, while Eddie's vault, the cloven one reads from his great book to his disciples, sleeps and awakens, and forgotten his place in the grimoire. He begins anew. The book is a part of him. He has no legs. He takes no steps. It's his own self. Once he reads, I'm just going to clip it there. That should be 50. Yep.